that's part of the equation here. Are you promoting a business or are you your product? Maybe there's a difference in how you handle personal branding if you're promoting a service versus you're promoting yourself.
Lisa, you want to weigh in?
Well,
I know Mel is jumping there. Got something good.
Well, there was a lot of backlash on Twitter, I noticed. I mean, I'm not a basketball fan, and I'm not a LeBron fan, and I'm sure Lyla's right. I mean, if I was, I would have been all over that show. But there was a lot of backlash, but it, probably doesn't matter. So for someone like him, he's such a big star.
Right.
It was probably a great move.
Yeah. I mean, we're definitely bringing up an example of somebody who is probably 1 in a million, but go ahead, Mel.
I think the bottom line is it doesn't matter what I think. And the reason why is because LeBron James is following the golden rule, which is he's doing whatever the hell he wants. And he's being honest to himself. I mean, this is a guy who talks in the third person about himself, for crying out loud. And when you think about social media, you have to ask yourself, what are your objectives? LeBron James' objectives was to benefit the Boys and Girls Club of America. It was to capture and explain this decision in his own words. It was to make more money, and it was to send him into Miami with a huge fanfare. Did he achieve it? Absolutely. Does it matter what I think sitting here in Riles in Cambridge, Massachusetts? No, not at all. And that's the point. Before you send things out, don't give a whatever about what anyone's going to think. If you're being true to yourself and you're being true to what your objective is, and that means, do I need to save my job? So I better not tweet this, or am I trying to endear myself to people, or am I trying to build my reach and my network? That's what drives your decision. Everything else is just part of the wash.
And what about all of his loyal fans in his hometown?
They'll come back. I mean, come on, look at America. We'll forgive Mel Gibson in 2 years, for crying out loud. I mean, everything is recoverable in 2010. There are no mistakes. The only mistake is sitting at your computer and stressing out and wondering what the right thing is to say and never saying anything.
Good ending. Good ending. Let's open it up to this table here with some questions.
If I may, I'd like to jump on the last topic you were just talking about. You just stole my LeBron James question. However,
Can everybody hear?
Do you want me to pull out the mic?
Yeah, don't go too far to the back, so maybe that table can go up and ask their question, kind of at the audience and to the...
I think we have some wire here.
Hold on 1 second.
So I guess the question is did LeBron open up Pandora's box? I mean, do you guys think that, there was speculation about, whether it was Miami, the Heat that had started this, or, whether it was LeBron's idea, but moving forward, is this going to be like a new reality TV sort of thing where, all sorts of sports and media icons are going to be able to, have an hour on TV and just talk about whatever when they're making a simple decision?
Yes. The last thing that we had was celebrity confessions to adultery. We already have the draft televised for 3 boring days. There are, 700, 2,000 channels on television? If you want to get in front of a camera or a flip video, there will be an outlet for it as long as a sponsor will pay for it and people will tune in. So yes, I think we'll see a lot more of this.
But I think there may be less impact. You watch the waves kind of ebb and flow in all kinds of areas, and I think, will there be more? Sure. If Kobe Bryant decides to change teams, will there be an hour-long special? You bet there will. Over time, A, there's not that many LeBrons out there, and B, imitation does kind of wear down the number of people who are going to.
Wow. Go ahead.
I wanted to talk more about how to get media attention. I know since all of you are in the media, I can imagine your email inboxes are probably filled to the brim with pitches from people like me.
What do you do?
I work in corporate communications.
And what are you trying to pitch?
generally news about my company, local events, and things in the advertising industry. So, I mean, not all of you have pitches from me, but just asking in general. What's the best way to get your attention to a possible story idea? Is it email, if you've got so much email? Is it fax? Is it a Twitter pitch?
I think you have to know to whom you're pitching. And I'm going to speak to two separate angles, the newspaper, massive newspaper traditional media angle, and the new media blogging angle. I recently got a pitch in my inbox for a site that deals with swingers, which is not really a parenting issue. It can be, but it's not really might be. But if take a few minutes to find out which reporter you're pitching things to, find out what they write, find out if they've already written about it, find out who their audience is, and then tailor your pitch to them. You can't have one blanket pitch for newspapers, one blanket pitch for bloggers, one blanket pitch for television, one blanket pitch for radio. Each station, each outlet will have a slightly different demographic, so you need to tailor your message. I have a list of things that will make me immediately throw away a pitch. One of them is if my name's spelled wrong, if I'm addressed as Mr. If it's clearly not something my readers would be into, if it's clearly not something I cover, if it doesn't show me what the value is to my readership, sending me information about a promotion for Pampers won't work if I have no children at home young enough to use them, that kind of thing. So it really, as well as you know your company, as well as you know what you're trying to pitch, it's just important that you take the time to know who you're pitching it to.
I mean,
Go
I was
ahead.
just
No,
gonna
I
say,
think there's-
I mean, ideally, you have a relationship with a reporter, or you get to know them. I mean, that's going to be, I think, the best way. You know, the people, and definitely email. First of all, don't fax me a pitch. I'm never going to see it. And also, like the endless voicemails. That is also really bad. I mean, I often just delete it, you know, after I hear someone's name. I mean, when I can tell there's going to be a long-winded pitch, it's never going to be a front-page story. I can
If you
just tell.
call, after you say hello, the next 5 words should be, is this a good time?
Yeah.
Always.
Yes.
No matter what time of day it is, no matter whether you think it's a lunch break or you think this is not a busy time, you need to ask, or are you on deadline?
Yeah,
Depending
are you
the-
on deadline? Exactly. And yeah, I mean, you know, like Lylah has a list. I mean, you know, I have a list. I mean, one way that I'll delete the email is if you CC my editor on it. Even, I mean, you can just, you know, email me a few times. I'm not going to get mad at you, but I definitely, you know, get great pitches over email. I try to look at them all. So if I don't respond, you can just email me again. And yeah, I mean, you know, don't pitch me on a story I just wrote. I actually had that happen to me today. It happens all the time. And, you know, it's, yeah, just, you know, that's really the best way to
Also,
do it.
avoid cliche. Don't send me a press kit with sparkles. Don't send me a thumb drive that's, you know, scented like Jolly Ranchers. Don't send. These are all things I've gotten.
Exactly.
These are all things that I've gotten, and then my wastebasket has gotten. And so avoid gimmicks. Just keep it short, keep it sweet. Make sure your contact information is right there, so I can reach you if I need to, get more information if I need to. And make sure you've taken the time to make sure what you're pitching is a good fit. Because I might not, I mean, if I'm feeling very nice and I've got time that day, I'll forward it to the right person. But if I'm busy, then it just goes right into the trash bin, and then you've lost time, you've lost effort, you've lost money, and your company has too.